352 kilometers in. London to Cornwall by bike. Beautiful evening in Richmond Park. A little pre-ride spin, making sure the bike actually works, making sure I actually work and that Lewis and Alex also work. I need to adjust a few things, so we've stopped. Hopefully that means there's no dead time on the actual ride. See how many people out riding their bikes. Give them that. It's 4:01. One of us is outside and ready. So that's 33% there. Just waiting for Alex and Lewis. But we've got a live link up. See who joins us. Or just thinks we're mad. The route heads west pretty quickly over towards Bristol, and then after that, south, west. And we're moving. Rock on. We have lost 7 minutes already, but it's okay. We might, if we're very lucky, catch that back up. We're an hour in. An hour and 5 minutes, averaging 28.9 kilometers an hour. Nearly 20 miles, 31.5 kilometers. Time for a proper little update. We are nearly at the 3 hour mark and we've nearly averaged 31 k's an hour, which means we're around 90 kilometers now. We're approaching Hungerford probably in the next 25 minutes, which is the perfect place to stop, have breakfast of sorts. It's going to be a quick stop, coffee, hydrate, and get going again. Paying attention to pace is already very important. You notice that you could squeeze on a little bit, but we've probably got over 15 hours of riding to go, and that's going to bite if you do. So trying to stay underneath 290 watts, just maintain a nice cadence, not get carried away. It's beautiful countryside here. Can't say the same for some of the journey. It's a lack of updates. But getting out of London was never going to be beautiful. It's just like the businessy end of the ride, which we had to do. Choosing the slowest stretch of road to do it.
It's alright. We can just pretend it's slow motion.
A little caffeine stop in Hungerford. Of course, because it's rubbish coffee, it's the hottest coffee on earth as well, so we can't actually drink it in a rush. I don't want to stop, I want to keep going. I think stopping is dead time. What do you reckon?
It is, but it is essential recovery as well.
What do you reckon, Lewis?
A slow 2 minutes will be fine.
This 2 minutes is going to quickly become 22, but I think one long, we'll alternate stops. Short stop, long stop. And that way, hopefully, we'll get through
Bristol, won't it?
Yeah, petrol stations and Bristol, yeah. Edge of Bristol. We're not getting into real Bristol.
I am.
Alex is.
Yeah, I'm knocking off early.
Maybe sort
But
of
for good reason.
Maybe Bath would be.
Do you go through Bath, don't we?
But we have done 97 of the 500 and something kilometres, so we're getting there. We're doing almost a fifth of the way. That's good. I've just had a real realisation, and that's if you're buying food on the go, which inevitably you're going to have to if you're going to ride 500 kilometres, even with a huge frame bag. I couldn't carry enough food or drink. Buying food based on how many calories per pence spent is probably the best way to do it. I was in there eyeing up the back of the packets and working out how much it was going to cost per calorie. So 400 calories for £2 in a Costa. It's not great, is it? Predominantly carbohydrates with a panettone bon brioche thing. It was that or a chocolate brownie, 300 calories. Coffee's still too hot. Right, we need to get, I feel like we need to move. 120 something kilometres, 124 kilometres now. We are in the Marlborough Downs, the Wiltshire Downs.
Depths.
I should know what it's called because I've spent a lot of time in this area. My uncle used to live in the village over the side of the hill. We are ploughing up a very gradual gradient into a headwind, but we have some help, which is nice, courtesy of Gabe on the front with Alex. And you'll notice by the speckles on the lens that it's quite mizzly and damp. But I think that's helping us really.
Yeah, definitely.
How are you feeling, Lewis?
Not bad. A little bit tired after only getting 3 hours sleep, but getting through. Looking forward to Bath, another cup of coffee.
Yeah, another coffee stop will be good. Once every 3 hours. We've had our first support rider join us today. Hello. Dave, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Gabe, and I'm a triathlete that's pretending to be a cyclist for the morning. And heading out with Chris. They're about 4 hours in.
I'm a cyclist pretending to be a triathlete with my current setup.
Yeah. It's horrible. Ruining a nice bike.
It's very fast though.
Yeah, it is.
Only 380 kilometres to go. Into the beautiful spa town of Bath. Guided expertly by my friend Nick Joyce. Into Bath along my old commuting road. I used to race down here, trying to get to work in record time every day. It's a genuine headwind right now. A very relentless, nagging headwind. We've lost the Lewis. We don't know what's going on. The only city on the route and he's lost. Coffee stop in Bath. 172 kilometres. And it's wet again. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, other than the road surface obviously is going to be questionable. Punctures and that sort of thing. So far so good. Definitely start to notice that it's not straightforward, it's not easy. But otherwise all good. Everyone else is in the queue for a coffee. I've devoured mine. I'm ready to go again. We are currently on the Bristol to Bath bike path, which is an amazing facility for people to have access to come and exercise, or just for commuting and transport. It's nice and quiet in the middle of the daytime. Peak hours in the summer, it gets busy. What a great place to ride, nice and flat. Which brings to an end almost our time with Alex as he peels off at Salford in a minute. Alex is still recovering from the Pan-Celtic, which finished just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
A very strong 5th place despite some niggles along the way. More experience gained though, and I'm sure he'll be back for more.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a year-on-year event. It's a different route every single year, so you come back and you just get this beautifully curated route of horrible, horrible climbs.
And I do believe Nick Joyce will be leaving us here soon as well.
Hello. Nick Joyce will be joining me on the Pan-Celtic next year.
We've lost the Lewis, and we've gained someone and lost Lewis. Lewis and I have lost our fixed support and expected support. And this is where the ride takes a bit of a turn for not the worst, it just gets hillier. Look at this. He's cut the corner there, isn't he?
He's branching out.
Yeah, it gets hillier, gets harder, more headwind, and the roads just aren't going to roll as well for a little while. So it's going to be a challenging few hours ahead. We've made it to Wells. Lewis and I no longer look as good as we did before. And we've been joined and paced by AD, who was a recent local competition winner, but purely by coincidence he's coming out and ridden with us today from, I don't know where we met actually.
We met just north of Wales. I've come up from Yeovil.
So a considerable ride already, and certainly by the time he gets back. AD has also confirmed it always rains in Somerset, even when it's forecast to be dry, which is just like Cornwall. So that's reassured me somewhat. We're going to continue. We've now done 208 kilometres. So AD's just dropped off. He's escorted us for quite a long time in the end. He's going to end up with quite a long ride. We've now been joined an hour ago by Doggy. who's going to escort us almost all the way back to Cornwall. Which it is Dougie, isn't it? Sorry. Yeah. I got someone's name right. I called Gabe Dave earlier. So, and that was before I was tired. So there's no excuse for that. So Dougie is considerably taller than I am. If you've seen the social media updates, you'll see that. So I'm quite looking forward to sitting on his wheel for the rest of the ride home. No, that's not fair. Not the rest of the ride.
No,
we'll share the wheel.
Till Compton.
Lewis, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm okay. Fair enough, okay. No, it's stopped raining. I don't like the rain. It's stopped raining now, so hopefully it'll be okay.
So I'm eating. See how dirty his jersey is, as is mine. Dougie's still clean, although he did join us in the rain. The bike is not clean. We're off to Clumpton now, to a nice cafe. We're into Devon, and as promised, Dougie's on the front. We are 9 hours and 37 minutes into this extravaganza. We're lined out. We're taking a slight detour just for some gentler gradients for a moment, and another emergency stop. Let's find out some more details though. Average speed is still 18 miles an hour, 28.8 k's an hour. I suppose the real worrying number is we have over 3,000 meters of climbing to go. That's 3/5. 60% of the climbing is yet to come. 288 kilometers. We've recaffeinated in Clumpton at the Lime Tree. Lewis is recovering, and we have some new guests. Felix has joined us over there. Finn has joined us, and Dougie is still on the front. Now we're going to head to Exeter and then start heading back to Cornwall. No fatigue is setting in when you start stopping more regularly. Exeter, which normally starts to feel like home in the car, but on a bike with around 200 kilometers left to go, and at 5:10 in the afternoon, less so. Here we go. We've had a dream team on the front. It's been really fast from Clumpton down to Exeter, so it's good. Good lead out by Finn, Felix, and Dougie. Lewis is having a difficult period, it's fair to say, Lewis, isn't it?
Knees.
352 kilometres in, Waitrose in Oakhampton. 150 kilometres to go. It's going to be touch and go to make it before midnight. In other words, it's not going to happen. But that's okay. Got myself a nice sandwich. Just need a snack for later. My genuine favourite thing today is because we're stopped in proper places, being able to wash your hands. Like instead of just going to the toilet in the hedge, but just stopping and having like a proper clean, and then your hands don't get that like sticky, sweaty. Yeah, it's nice. It's a rare treat on a bike ride.
I'm having on them.
Lewis will attack me all the way home now. It'll have all been one big bluff. That'd be quite funny. No, I'm not. Well,
It's a bit of a sharp plate to get up onto the granite.
and then there were two. The only two that were destined to complete the ride may also not complete the ride. We're now on the Granite Way, which is similar to the Bristol to Bath bike path, or Bath to Bristol bike path. It's an amazing facility. It means we don't have to ride down any main roads. Look at the view. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Hired legs are very happy with a flat road for a while. And then we're on to Bobbin Moor, and we're thinking we may not complete the ride purely because of, well, feeling, sensation, and the fact that it is quite late. It's about, I don't know what the time is, it's around 8 o'clock. So 4 hours from here to where I live in Truro, which technically fulfills the commute. However, we may be a little bit short of the 300 miles, but we'll see. No promises. What a view. Not the best surface of the day. Famous Brent road race circuit, a very well known circuit for amateur road racing in the southwest of the UK. Really good circuit. We're going down one of the sides of it now. The finish was just over there somewhere at the top of a draggy climb. It's a really nice aggressive circuit, good fun. Don't know if they still use it. If they do, good. If they don't, it's a shame. We have a little bit of descending to do now. And then finally, we may cross the border back into Cornwall. I think 2 is about to come 1.
He's taking their toll.
Lewis has really soldiered on for the last, well, about 3 hours, if not longer, with really sore knees. It's been relentless. This is the worst 3 hours of the ride. And the next hour, probably. And after that, it gets more achievable again. So it's looking like Lewis is going to take the train from Garnish Lake, which is 5 miles east of here, predominantly downhill. At least he gets to cross the border into Cornwall, but then he gets to sleep in his own bed as well, which is actually not a bad thing. You're still going to have a monster ride because you'll still have done, what are we at right now?
235 miles, 240.
Exactly, very close to that magic 400. So I'm going to put my music on and soldier on, I think. Just gently. I need to really rein it in. Like it's probably helped me, in all honesty, that you've suffered a bit, because it was meant that I've not pushed it. But I now need to be careful because that could quickly come undone. Thank you, Lewis.
Been a pleasure.
Has it?
Not really.
It's definitely not been your favourite day, is it? A bad night's sleep and then straight into what has just been relentless.
Rain at Taunton.
The rain did not help.
Well, Taunton and Bathside, isn't it?
Yeah, we're getting wet early on. My feet are still damp now.
Yeah, I think mine are.
Which is this is a long time to be wet. Right, come on, let's put the camera away and go. Into Cornwall, and I'm now the last man standing. Unfortunately, Lewis has been really suffering for the last few hours with his knees, and we found a train station that wasn't too far off route. He's catching the train home. Hopefully he doesn't fall asleep on the train. I now have, I don't know, Minions on Bodmin Moor. Highest point in the ride for a while, if not completely. Hopefully we can pick up some speed and make up for considerable lost time. Around 90 minutes to go, if it goes well. Maybe a little bit more. Not a lot to update. My goodness me, I've seriously underestimated this stretch of the leg, this leg of the stretch. None of that makes sense, it's okay. Yeah, this is really tough now, which is to be expected. It's very hilly. Just climbed probably over 1,000 meters in the last, I don't know how long. I'm about to plug my charger in to the Wahoo. You can probably hear my speech is somewhat forced. It's not very smooth. My muscles, my tongue, they don't really want to work very well. Legs are all right. I'm awake, conscious, focused. Some of those descents were the sort of descents I enjoy. They're quite engaging. You really need to be on your tiptoes, as it were. Really alert, paying full attention, which is good. I think ultimately that's probably helped me stay awake, keep going. Normally I go to bed at 10. So it's 11 o'clock. Left Lewis around 2 hours ago now. And he's definitely made the right decision based on just how hilly that was. How narrow it was as well. It would have been hard actually as a duo. It was an auto-generated route and it was really good. I think in the daytime that would have been beautiful. Probably some of the best roads in Cornwall. It's fairly simple now. Roads that I used to use a lot. As I've said before, I'm just going to head back to Truro, don't need to go to Land's End by myself. My wife Micah does not need to come and collect me from Land's End, so head home to Truro. It's still going to be, but it's 419 kilometres now, which I think makes it so far my longest ride ever. I have to check on that, don't quote me on that. It's about 50-ish from here, maybe a little bit less, so 470 kilometres, 465, I'm quite happy with that, that'll do. It's not quite the full 300 miles, but ultimately it's fine. Can't complain. Right, I'm going to plug in my charger and then carry on. Not a lot to film, there's not a lot of point, you're not going to see much, but it's just nice to give you an update. Here we are, into my hometown of Truro. I absolutely don't feel the need to round up the distance whatsoever. It's been quite an eventful day out. London to Cornwall by bike. Don't feel the need to do it anytime soon for a repeat. Not going to round it up because it's been far enough. It's been an eventful day, it's been a good day. I'm not going to achieve anything by riding any further. Just going to go home, open the cupboard door, find something to eat, have a shower, go to sleep. And I think that's it. Thank you for following the journey. It'll be just over 464 kilometres, I think, by the time I actually get to the door, which is my longest ride by a good stint, and that's about 17 hours of riding, I think. 16 hours and 33 minutes of riding, but about 21 hours since we woke up this morning.